are you all? So I would like to share this with you. Yesterday, after a long day, when I was sipping my coffee in the evening, I was thinking that I did not have a single book to share, and Wednesday is already on my head, and what am I going to share with all of you? So then I thought of just browsing Chitra Banerjee's some more books, because Palace of Illusion is one of my favorites. So, and I really loved the feminist approach that she has shown. So I thought, why not just browse her other works? And I came across this recent work of her, which is Last Queen. And after I read the reviews, mind you, my reading of the book is still left, but I have done quite a research on the book in these 2 days, and I felt like sharing this with you. So I am going to obviously order this book ASAP, and I also would like you guys to keep this in mind after you finish the Palace of Illusions. This is the next book that you can read on. So as we know that Chitra is a little bit of a feminist, and she is like writes on more on a point of view of female point of view. So this is one of her another creation. It's a historical fiction book, but it is not actually totally fiction. Okay, it's also a little bit of true story about. It is actually a true story about the queen. Okay, and this. So as I go ahead, this was released in 2021, and it is likely to be adapted for screen also. Okay, and this is the story of Rani Jindan Kaur of Punjab. So we have been listening to the brave stories of females. Like, if I ask you which are the two females that you can name that we have read about in history, or we know that they are very famous for the things that they have done, then I bet you can only mention two. For me, it was Rani Padmavati and Rani Lakshmi Bai, right? So we never heard of this queen, and they are mighty brave stories. We have heard about Rani Lakshmi Bai and Padmavati, and it is the story of Rani Jindan Kaur of Punjab is very lesser known to us. Okay, so this is another reason that we have never come across her, and we should. In fact, she was such a brave queen that we should have known about her, but we have no idea. So beautifully written by her. Now, it is based on the true story of Maharani Jindan, and she is the last Sikh queen of Lahore. So, who fought against the British with the help of Khalsa warriors, but never made in our history pages, books, or media. So, we've never heard about her ever. And Jindan Kaur was the daughter of Maharaja Ranjit Singh's kennel keeper. So, kennel keeper is basically people who take care of their dogs. So, she was a very beautiful female. She looked really beautiful. Now, what is the book about? So it talks about Rani Jindan, as I said, and how from a village girl she becomes a queen. So this is in itself a very extraordinary thing, because we have seen that a Rani or a princess is married to a prince, and then she takes over the throne and she becomes a queen. But a small simple village, a mere village girl becoming queen, her journey is really going to be quite tough. So somewhat like the Princess of Wales, Lady Diana. So we know that she was a very simple, humble girl, and then she became the princess, and her journey of her crown was very difficult indeed. So this must be something new for us to even know, that how did a simple village girl becomes a queen. Now she fights for herself, her child, after King Ranjit Singh dies. So she has to fight for her child, okay, for the male child, the heir of the throne, and how she plays this whole political game to let her child have the throne. So from traveling to Jammu, later Amritsar, coming back to Lahore, facing the British, has been a big journey for the queen. So, going into a little more details, see, what I feel is that the such stories not only inspire us, but as females, we can relate to many battles that that we are playing, or that we are fighting every day in our lives. And though I still believe that we have been in a more acceptable societal forum now on, and we are more into a open-minded zone than these females were during their time. So they give us a lot of inspiration, and they give us a lot of motivation to go ahead with all the little problems that we are facing. I know we say that as a female we do not face problems in today's world. As well, we do. The problems are a little different than those in those days, although we have come to a point where we are very open minded, and girl education is now not a big issue, and female have accepted girl child as an heir. There has been lot many changes, but still women or a female do suffer in this male dominated horizon. So it is said that she was a queen of Punjab, and she was a symbol of grace, wit, and honor. So she was a very graceful lady. Now, the last queen showcases the deep devotion that Rani Jindal had for her family, her religion, and her country, it says. The book is a timeless tale of a lady that will excite you with the spirit of patriotism and bravery. So, this is what we have to know, right, about the brave females that India had. And I don't know how did she not make in the books of history, because whatever reviews that I have read, it says that she has fought a very big battle to in front of the Britishers. So this is not something very ordinary, right? It is an extraordinary thing, and we have females, we have queens who have fought against these Britishers, and we have talked about it, but somehow we skip her. So our generation probably should know about her, so as we can pass this story to our next generation. The book is divided into phases of Rani Jindal's life. Okay, so she was a girl first. Then very clearly the divisions are there in the book. It says that she was a girl, then she becomes a bride. After that, she becomes a queen, and then a rebel. So how she grows through these phases of her life. The growth of Jindal from a daughter who is fierce and excited to a mother who is cautious yet brave. One of the reviewers is writing that this had enchanted her, and her Chitra's way of saying the story. Okay, it is the timeline that she has maintained, and the style of storytelling. It's in a narrative form, so it becomes a must read. Now the story has a solid building with a lot of much needed time given to the setup of the plot. So she takes a lot of effort in setting up the whole plot, so that we get a better idea of where the story is taking place and where is it going, right? So it makes us more related to the story, and we can relate ourselves to the position of the uh, uh, queen in different phases of her life. So those people who love history, or who like to read about such brave people, will really love her work. And the darbar that she has shown, and all the characters that she has made, are very nice. They are strategically placed, it is said, and they play a very important role in grooming Rani Jindal from each phase, one phase to another, from taking her to one phase to another, it is said. So this book is no ordinary book. You are going to thoroughly enjoy. And she married to Ranjit Singh, and she became his youngest wife, and she was her favorite last queen. But while she was just adjusting to the role of being a Rani and a mother after the wedding, her real troubles started. Okay, so till she became a mother, everything was fine. But then, due to age related illness, her husband dies, and then the whole turning point. She has cunning courtiers, and she has to fight them to become Maharani. And at the age of 6, it is said that her son was made the king. So she has to fight and dedicate her life in protecting the inheritance of the throne that her son has got. And she was the one of the few queens who have not followed the rules and regulations. Okay, she has defied the rules and regulations, and she has been shown a bold queen. So this is one question that came into my mind, that does our history books really tell the stories of women? Because when I was really trying to think hard about the females that I know who have fought battles or who are very brave, these queens, I could only name few. Like I said, Padmavati and Rani Lakshmi was the only names that come into my mind. Okay, so why haven't we heard about her? So it is speculated, or it is assumed that because the history is written by men, and therefore the reason it may be this, that the history is written by men and therefore we are not aware about, or we remain unknown about the fact of all these females who were so brave, and we still don't know about them. So this can be a great addition to the motivational women in your life. I really recommend this book for you all to read it. Now, in so many of them say that it's a fiction. Some of them say that is it a true story? So it is a true story with a little bit of drama added to it, and it is true story of Maharani Jindal. She was the last Sikh queen of Lahore, as I said, and she fought against the British. But she has never made to history, and we do not know about her much. So it is actually a true story. So Shabana Azmi quotes about this book is that in The Last Queen, Chitra has written an unforgettable story about the fearless, much feared queen. So she was fearless, but people feared her as a queen, whom history seems to have forgotten. Chindan is heroic. Her strength and spirit are a lesson for us. So, I believe that if this is shown into this turns into a movie, then we shall really enjoy her book, and we will really like to see this book on big screen, right? What do you all say? But before that, I would always recommend that we read the book, and we get a proper review of this book, so that tomorrow when we see it on the big screen, which there is a quite noise about it, we know about what we are going to see, right? And we can really judge how well it is made. Now, this is a female in the 19th century, and it is said that the book manages to capture the life of Rani Jindal very beautifully. It captures her character and indomitable spirit quite well. And Chitra has these magic with words and exceptional storytelling skills. So her writing is basically very good, and it makes you feel as if you are in that period of time. And her fans, like, basically, if you talk about me, then I personally love the way she writes. And if you read Palace of Illusion, I'm sure you will also like her work. So her fans really like what she is making, or what she comes out with. Here are one of the two quotes very famous of this book. Rani Jindal says that I may be injured, I may even be wounded to the heart, but I am not defeated yet. When one has to leave behind almost everything, it hardly matters what one takes. So I have just written this quote again separately. When one has to leave behind almost everything, hardly matters what one has to take, because when you're leaving everything, how does it matter anyway? Perhaps we are always alone from the time we leave the safety of our mother's womb until the time Vaheguru gathers us to himself. There's a beautiful thing that she says in just 2 3 lines, that we all are alone only, always lonely, fighting our battles on our own. We think that our family members, our children, our husband, everyone is with us, but the battles that we are fighting have to be fought by us only. So from the time we leave our mother's womb to the time we die, we are fighting our own battles, and all of us are equally strong. It's just that we have never come across those situations where we can display the strength that we are having. But all women folk out there are equally strong in their fields and their nature. If anything will happen or she has to face anything, it is inbuilt in her. So I hope that all of you read this book. I also hope that you enjoy it. And she is a beautiful writer. And I hope I have made a good addition to your collection. So thank you all. And I really enjoyed doing this review. And let's hope that this book comes out on big screen soon. Have a good day, all of you. Thank you for being here.